Hello, everyone. This is Brother Benson Media, and I hope and believe that your new year has started well. And hopefully, by the end of 2025, we will be celebrating those new year resolutions, and we will be there to celebrate them with you. Today, I want to share with you um, three around 4 to 3 reasons that has been or that how I want to expose, especially when it comes to coalitions or when it comes to political class coming together, um, and there are main reasons of them coming together. One is about that our politics is full of hypocrisy. Yeah, there's no that trust. We have uh, hypocrisy in our politics, especially when you witness two functions that during campaigns did not agree or created that hostility in the campaigns can now come together and start to praise one another as good leadership, then it tells you that we still have a long way to go. For instance, during the campaigns, if you can go and revisit those videos where the CS for mining right now, Ali Hassan Joe, was castigating the president. Yeah. And right now, he's the person who is praising the president and how president is a good performer. Talk about um, Junaid Muhammad, all the words he said about the president. Yeah. Not to mention about Kimani Chungwa, how he used to call Baba, you know. And right now, they are buddies. They are uniting the country, and the country has to move forward. So it exposes to us how our politics is full of hypocrisy. Not even in Baba's camp with President Ruto, even Rigathi Gachagua, Kalonzo Musyoka, and Eugene Wamalo. Yeah, I cannot, uh, like even how Eugene Wamalo and Kalonzo Musyoka used to castigate Rigathi Gachagua as somebody who does not have the capacity to hold that office based on the nature of politics Gachagua was practicing, or the art of his politics, or the way he does his politics. But right now, they are together. Yeah, because the interests have, they are now sharing the common interest. So despite all those, it tells you how our politics is full of hypocrisy. That is to hypocrisy, because um why, if you did not agree with somebody in the initial stages, what has really changed? Yeah. So that is one. Secondly, um, it has also exposed our political parties. Yeah. Yeah. One, our political parties do not have ideology. That is one. There is nothing that they stand for. Secondly, our political parties are individualized. Yeah. There is personification in them. That each and every politics, you identify it with a particular person or a particular region. That's what these coalitions they come. And it also shows that how their blueprints, or we call them manifestos, are the same. They are copy paste, you know, because if to ask, if there's something that a political party stands for, then other political party has also something that it stands for. There's no way in which they can come together and start to work together. Yeah. So it tells you in terms of political democracy, we are not progressing, or we've not reached that maturity whereby we can say that our political party, this is what we stand for, and we cannot join. Because even the majority of those decisions that are made in these political parties are made by the persons behind them. Mm. You remember, I think like Amani Congress was folded to join the UDA. How can you fold a party and fold it and say you're joining a UDA and that party just dies like that? Instead of you, when you are migrating to another political, that is allowed. If you feel now you don't share the same ideology with that particular party, you can join another political party. That is allowed. But a whole political party with these organs say that now we are joining or coming together to work. Yet, so that also has exposed that. Another thing that has exposed by this coalition is about um, the regional balancing. You know, in our politics, or in our area, our politics in Kenya, it's all about to capture the power, the presidency, the price of getting a presidency. So what happens is, for you to be a president, one of your considerations should be, how will I balance the region? And how do you balance this region? You balance this region by calling the kingpins of those regions, bring them together. And from there, you negotiate on the positions. That's why, if you're very keen enough, Rigathi Gachagua was talking about the shares. What are the shares? You know, yeah. So these are the, if you're if you're coming on the table of negotiation, if you have votes, that also will determine the position that you are being given. You know, they don't look at your qualification, they don't even look at your background, they don't look at whether you're a performer or not a performer, but provided that your region has a larger votes, so we you have to come and be in the equation. How will we balance this equation for us to win the presidency? And if we win, what will happen? We will give you this number of shares, we will give you this employment, we will give you 50% of this. Yeah. So that is something that is being exposed with this uh, alliances. Yeah. Even if you look at the broad-based government, what happened when Raila Odinga and Ruto came together? Even though Baba insists that he did it for the best for his country, but he still donated his soldiers, especially the cream of ODM, the minority, the chair, the party leader, the two party leaders, to go and work with uh, the president. Yeah, with a party, even with the system, the economic model that they say, they criticize that economic model that the president was campaigning for, that we are going to use bottom up. And they said bottom up, we've never had bottom up like that. But now that is what now they are working with. So that is what, when these coalitions or bringing in allies come together, they just want to regional balance the region, and you know, make you feel that you belong. That is something that is exposed, but it doesn't have the interest of the people. It also exposes to us that the political class, um, the political class do not have solution for the country, because what usually comes when they come to these coalitions, the people who benefit first are them. Yeah, when it comes to employment opportunity, they don't see beyond their tribe. They don't see beyond their family members. They don't see beyond uh, their foot soldiers. They don't see beyond even their community. Those are the people that they consider first for those appointments before any other person. Or they reward those who have been with them. Yeah. So those positions that they have, first of all, they use to reward. They're using them to reward the people who are close to them, or the people who are close allies of them, in the pretext that these are what is going to solve these are the solution that we've been missing. Mm. For instance, we had BBI. Mm. The BBI, if you look at the point agenda that were in the BBI, one of the things that stood out was that even though it had benefits in it, but remember it was creating positions, and these positions in those offices who are going to work there, they were not just going to employ anybody who comes around. No, they were going to employ people who are close to them. Come to NADCO. NADCO was also creating those positions. Yeah. And if you look at the history of the political class, yeah, especially when it comes to election, because it's all about election. Each and every year, when we are done with election, what follows is about we go to the Supreme Court. Yeah. And what will happen? The Supreme Court might nullify or uphold that election. Then what follows is protest, maandamano. There are those who are going to lose their lives. Then after losing their lives and everything, then there's going to be a commission that is going to be formed. And these commissions that are going to be formed or to be put in place to investigate or to inquire why do we usually go through that the same processes. Yeah. But do you get the solution? So it is it is always repeated, periodically. Ni ile ambao kila uchao. And I believe even after 2027 election, it might happen. We will we will go to election. Whoever will whoever will win, whether we wins through whatever means, then what will happen? People will go to Supreme Court. After the Supreme Court, people will go for maandamano. Then after that, we will form a commission or we'll form to investigate the role of IEBC. And if you're very keen enough, some of these commissions that are being created each and every year, the laws they enact will always facilitate the interest of the political class. Take, for instance, the IEBC. If you're very keen enough, when you look at the IEBC, remember when His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka insisted that his person has to be there. Yeah? So majority of times these commissions, they act as also vehicles for bidding. You go there, the people that they put in those places or to become commissioners will always um, be their bidders. Yeah, will always take care of their interest, because we are living in a society where the trust, even among even the political class, is not there. They don't trust one another enough. That's why, like in the IBC commissioners, they have to make sure that the people who are there are people who can bid for their interest, or the people who can fight for their interest. That is my observation. Another thing is about no opposition in the country. We've always been talking about opposition, that we need to have a strong opposition that would put check on the government or the minority. But as it stands, if you look at the history ever since the country came into the kind of politics whereby we merge, or we come together and bring government of national unity, the BBI, the NADCO, the broad-based government, you find that the opposition will always be in the government, but they will deny we are not in government. We are just creating peace. Yeah, but at the end of the day, are we progressing or we are retrogressing? Yeah, if now some members of opposition will say that any bill that will come to the parliament that is suggested by the experts, I will support. Yeah, right now, um, you had the other day, the minority leader was castigating the DP that he wants to be the opposition leader. Uh, why, this guy has already been impeached. He's out there. Why can't you do your oversight role? Leave him alone. Let him apige kelele huko, put the government on check. So those are some of the things that the political class, when they come together, those are some of the things that is being exposed. We do not have a clear opposition. But right now, I'm seeing there's that the real opposition is now coming out, especially the young people are on social media. They are trying to put pressure on government. They are trying to critique the government. So that is the real opposition of the people. Get about the one that uh, right now we have, because the minority is in the government. Yeah, and when we talk about retrogressing, when you look at the political parties, even go to the county level, whereby you would say, like, now this is a political party where they've formed a government. Do they even have that blueprint? Do they actualize the blueprint of that particular party? Yeah, there's a corruption. Yeah, yeah. So that is something that is also being exposed. We are retrogressing. Um, we are going back. We do not have we I mean, like, we do not actualize the the multi-party democracy the multi-party democracy spirit, whereby we have so many political parties that are coming in to champion for their interest and their view. But what happens when we go to election? They coalesce, they come together. We have two functions, and we're saying we have a multi-party. So the spirit of multi-party, I don't think that has been actualized, even though it was a milestone in the Kenyan history. Yeah, so that is something that we have to look at. And another thing that also this coalition is exposing is about the awareness on the voters. Yeah, what do the voters want vis-a-vis what the political class wants? Because the voters will, some of them do not question these steps that are being made by the politicians. Yeah, yet during the campaigns, there were the people who were so much involved and even uttering some of the words to these politicians. But now when it comes to making decisions, do they know what they want even when it comes to the ballot? Yeah. You find there's that commercialization in politics. They're also involved. The brown bahasha, but their brown bahasha is not brown because they get less money. I remember the other time we had a guest with us here, and we talked about um, going for the protest, that you can get at least as small as around 50 shillings for you to go for that protest. So you ask yourself, at the end of the day, sometimes you go to the protest, you end up losing your life for only 50 shillings. So those are the the things that, at least in 2025, if we are going and making political resolutions, what are some of the things that we should look at? How can we tame the political hypocrisy in our political field? By looking at issue based politics, but not theatrics that we usually see, and the politics that usually happens. Yeah. By being the opposition, you know. So those are kind of the resolutions that I think as a country we should look at on how to reduce this, and also to bring in new breed of politicians and new breed of politics. There's a breed of politicians that we've been voting generation after generation, generation after generation. They've been in the political field for the longest time. It doesn't matter which factions are you or which side are you supporting, but have that conscience within you and say, is it this time that we should kind of like bring in new leadership that would solve the issues that we are going through as a country? So those are the resolutions. Those are what I think, like, as a country we need to look at. They may not be so much huge in the political field, but they are things that we need to watch. Thank you so much, and may God bless you.